The City of Quincy Board of License Commissioners is now in session. It is Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll get everyone out here pretty quickly, hopefully, so we can get home to the trick-or-treaters. Give out the candy. I hope everyone bought full-size bars, not the cheap little ones. I went out and got the big ones myself. And before we start, I'd just like to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings and transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. We have a 7-item agenda. We will do the charities really quick. We have one holdover agenda, which will be heard as agenda item number 4, the Quincy Gate Auto. And we will go forward right now. Agenda item number 1, hearing regarding the request of the South Shore YMCA for a special use permit for the 7th annual Frozen 5K Road Race on January 7th, 2018. Anyone here from the YMCA? Come on up. You are Thomas Haley?
Healy, yes.
Healy, there you go. I'm not seeing it. This is Thomas Healy from the YMCA, and why don't you tell us about the 7th annual Frozen 5K?
It's a Frozen 5K road race, benefits the annual support campaign for the Social YMCA, which goes back to its providing the community.
And this is the exact same route you've used the last couple of years?
Yes.
Okay. And the route, you guys have a copy of the route?
Yeah, it goes
Before
right
I
down,
open it up to...
It goes down Coddington Street, crosses over Route 3A there, and then continues down C Street, down to the library, swings around and comes back.
Comes back up, okay. Do we do any food or anything at the end?
We do not, no.
No, okay, there's no alcohol. So before I open it up to the board, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll close that portion. Board members, comments, questions, concerns?
Yeah, I've done this in the past for some years.
Everything's good?
Nothing's changed.
Correct, yeah, I've already been in touch with the new lieutenant from the police department, and we're on the right page this year.
Okay.
Moving forward, just like we were last year, so.
Sure.
Looking for a motion, board members.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of the South Shore YMCA for a special use permit for the 7th annual Frozen 5K Road Race on January 7th, 2018. Setup begins at 6 a.m. and the race will start at 9 a.m. represented by Mr. Thomas Healy.
Second.
How many runners did you have last year?
Actually, last year we got snowed out on the
Okay.
actual date. We were able to get the race moved, but we had we had over 500 registered participants, about 300 on the race course.
What do we anticipate this year?
Around the same. Yeah, we usually end up with about 360 on the race course itself, and then we have about 500.
Is that a Sunday morning?
It's a Sunday morning. Yep. Playoff weekend.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of the South Shore YMCA for a special use permit for the 7th annual Frozen 5K Road Race on January 7th, 2018. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set. Good luck, okay?
Happy Halloween.
Agenda item number 2, hearing regarding the request of the Merrymount Association for a special use permit for the Thanksgiving Day Turkey Trot Run Walk on the 23rd of November. Miss Kathy O'Brien. Kathy is not here. We will hold that till the end. We will jump over to hearing regarding the request of Boy Scouts Troop 6 for a special use permit for a pumpkin chunkin' on Saturday, November 4th at Pageant Field from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Scoutmaster Robert Gordon. I actually spoke with Scoutmaster Gordon. He asked me to put this on the agenda. We had this on the agenda last year. He is not going to be able to join us this year. I said I'd walk it through. The pumpkin chunkin' was done up at Pageant Field last year, and it was a great success, a smashing success, I should say. How is that? Wow. They will have a Gallagher type hammer up there this year too, in case you wanted to Gallagher your pumpkin. They'll be selling hot dogs and other items up there. My office will be up there that day. It's a great event. It costs $5 to launch your pumpkin, I believe it is. And it's a huge giant slingshot, so it should be a really good day. And I know they've already spoken with the Parks Department. I spoke with Barry Welch, and they have everything that they need. So all I'm looking for is a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Troop 6 pumpkin chunkin on November 4th at Pageant Field from 10 to 2 p.m.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Boy Scout Troop 6 for a special use permit for a pumpkin chunkin on Saturday, November 4th at Pageant Field from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. represented by Robert Gooden, Scoutmaster, Troop 6. All in favor?
Aye.
All set. We'll go agenda item number 4, hearing regarding the request of Quincy Gate Auto, 165 Hancock Street, for a Motor 2 license and garage repair license. Mr. Amir Rita and Mr. Samir Rita. And Mr. Samir Marita is the proposed manager. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good.
This item is a carryover from our last meeting. Quincy Gate Auto was at 165 Hancock Street, and we had some concerns about the ward counselor. It actually is not in Ward 6, Councilor Harris's ward. It is in Ward 3, Councilor Ian Kane's ward. I believe we've been in contact with Mr. Kane, Councilor
Yes.
Kane.
I spoke with Councilor Kane and he has no concerns.
Okay. So that's a good thing. See, we wait a day. Good things happen to those who wait. Everything here is in order. We have the sign-off sheet.
Got the bonds.
We have the bond. We have emergency workers' comp. Emergency contact form is all filled out.
Just need-
And we are looking at 20 cars for this site, right?
Correct.
Board members, any of the board members have any comments, questions? I mean, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, concerns about 165? It was a garage and used car dealership in the past, and it's been closed for a couple of years, and it is going to be reopened.
How many vehicles were there before? Do we know that number? Just curious.
20 on the lot they want to look at.
Is that what was there before?
Yeah. It's a big lot.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I've been down there.
So out of the 20, you're looking for 20 cars on the lot, and is it 20 for sale at any given time, or like 15 for sale and 5 for repair, or
20 for sale.
20 for sale? Okay. I would like to put a cap number on the, if it's 20 for sale in the lot, that's the number of cars that we want to see out there at the end of the night.
Right.
So if you have 20 cars for sale and you have 15 cars that are in for repair, you can't have 35 cars on the lot.
Correct.
You gotta figure it out so you have 20 cars in the lot at any given time, except during business hours, when obviously if you have cars gonna be picked up, you can always go over 1 or 2. But if we find out that we're going down there and there's 50 cars on the lot, we're gonna have, you're gonna come up and visit us again, okay? Board members, any comments, questions?
So you had some plans to do some renovations? You were gonna do some landscaping and painting the building and lighting.
Building already newly painted.
You already did that?
From the outside, yes.
Did you get a permit to do that? I don't remember, I'm just asking.
I believe the owner and we have the names there from represent
The
the owner.
building was painted from the outside.
It was painted?
Yes.
I know there was some
and
talk
then-
about cleaning up the whole area.
And then the driveway was repaved, and they did get a permit for that and was signed off.
I knew there was a permit for something, okay. Are there any, would you mind coming up, or are you?
Sure. My name is Eva Kaselska. I'm a real estate broker representing the owner.
Okay. And were there any plans to do any landscaping or any site improvements?
Kind of left it open for them to take care of that because they had some different ideas of what they wanted to do. So it's not the owner's responsibility. They kind of wanted to plant different type of shrubberies and stuff like that. But everything was cleaned out from previous time because it was overgrown and stuff like that.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at. It's kind of a gateway into the city.
Yeah,
We were just looking at some screening of some kind. I know it's down a little bit off the beaten.
We will take care of it very well. We want it to look very good, and that's why we called it Quincy. So we know it's important to look good.
And is all the equipment ready to go inside? There's no work to be done? Anything going on inside?
Nothing should be, everything should be ready to go. We have the tools, we have the cars, everything.
Okay, we just stop in and apply for an occupancy permit then?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, and then we'll do a walkthrough. I know the fire chief may have some.
We know we have to obtain some permits from the fire chief as well, yes.
Okay, just.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So just so we have it on record, you're going to need some fire extinguishers, and I believe you've been told where you need those, and you need some permits for waste oil, cellars, and other fluids you might be using.
Correct.
So we would ask you just to obtain a building permit to apply for an occupancy permit, and we can do a walkthrough, and we'll get you going very quickly.
Definitely. Will do so.
Appreciate it, and good luck, thank you.
Thank you.
We're all good?
You're going to be closed on Sundays?
There will be closed on Sundays, but the sale we wish to stay open on Sundays.
What are the hours you want on Sundays then?
9 to 3, just like Saturdays.
Okay,
What is it, 9?
9 to 3 on Sundays, so
What are the other hours during the weeks?
8 to 6 Monday through Friday.
And that's just for
Should now be right on it.
cars?
The Sunday,
Yeah,
just for sale.
just for sale.
Thanks for being at my meeting earlier.
Thank you.
All set?
All set.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Quincy Gate Auto, 165 Hancock Street, for a Motor 2 license and garage repair license. This item was continued from the October 17, 2000 hearing, represented by Mr. Amber Rita and Mr. Samir Rita. Hours of operation Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And
Second?
that's it.
Seconded. We have a motion made and seconded to grant the request of Quincy Gate Auto, 165 Hancock Street, for a Motor 2 license and garage repair license. This is a Motor 2 license for 20 cars on the lot at any given time. The proposed manager is Mr. Samir Rida, and the owners will be Amir Rida and Mr. Samir Rida. Hours of operation Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 3. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set, okay?
Thanks.
Good luck.
Have a good one.
Good luck.
Agenda item number 5, hearing regarding the request of the Quincy Farmers Market to continue the Farmers Market on Fridays through March. The hours would be 12 to 2 p.m. Miss Janet Little. Janet, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Are you going to need a parka when we go up there in January?
I'm gonna need a snowsuit. But I'm from House Neck, so I can take it.
Okay. So why don't you tell us the proposal for the Farmers Market from 12 to 2 up at Pageant Field through November, December, January, February, March. What do we think?
Well, I think the thinking behind it is twofold. One, many of the agricultural vendors would like to keep a relationship with their customers through the entire season. And the second motivation is that there's a program called HIP, which is the Healthy Initiative Program. Do you want me to explain what
Sure.
it is? Okay. It's a program that was developed through the Federation Farmers Markets. It's a state and federal government program which gives benefits to lower income people that qualify for food that they can purchase at the farmers market. It's put a big demand on the farmers market, and there's a lot of people in the city that would benefit from being able to come up and get the benefit.
And so what kind of product would be up there in January?
Okay, well, the farmer would be there with winter produce. Was that?
You said frozen corn.
Oh, there's no corn in January. Mostly root vegetables, potatoes, turnips, squashes. They'll grow some greens in the greenhouses, so there'll be greens. Apples and maybe pears for the beginning part of the season, mostly winter crop.
And so it's all weather permitting?
Yeah, in my mind, I was thinking of if school is canceled, there'd be no market. And we're thinking 12 to 2 simply because that's, you know, when the sun
Yep.
shines the most. But there are a couple other vendors that are also interested in coming, and one of them is an egg vendor from Holbrook. And he has a lot of people that actually drive over to Holbrook every week to get eggs from him. So he would come every week, and I'm sure there'd be a following there.
How about the wineries? Are the wineries still
No,
interested?
no, they won't participate in it. The honey people would be interested in coming. And they have a big following, they've been at the farmer's market for a long time. And we also have a pork vendor who's interested in maintaining some relationship with with his customers, I should say, so.
Yeah, I don't have any, does anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, concerns? Farmers market? Board members, comments, questions, concerns?
Where is that being held?
Pageant Field.
It's at Pageant Field right now, and right now we kind of take the area that surrounds the amphitheater and the little street, that passageway that goes down in that area. And I think if there was a farmer's market, we, you know, honestly, I haven't spoken to the Parks Department about this. And it dawned on me after I spoke with Susan that maybe I should go up and talk to them, but then I thought to myself, maybe I'll wait and see what you say, and then go up to them, and it would be contingent upon them obviously agreeing with it. And my thought was we could take a little section of the parking lot, you know, just off to one side, because they wouldn't probably set up tents in the winter, probably be a little, you know, more downscale.
It's pretty windy up there.
So maybe down closer to the street?
Yeah, maybe, you know, the other option is to be shaded by the bathrooms, not shaded, the wing could be a barrier.
So how long does the farmers market run through up there now, till the end of November?
Through the Friday before Thanksgiving, which this year is the 17th.
Okay. Because you haven't touched base with the Parks Department, I'd really like to just push this to the 14th, and that'll give them plenty. I just want to make sure that
I'd say
they're
vote
okay.
on it and just make sure they're okay, so she
Yeah?
doesn't have to come back.
Okay.
I mean, it's been going on up there forever.
Yeah, I know, I just want to make sure they're okay with it in the wintertime.
Yeah, yeah, I thought of that myself, and thought I'd go up, and then I didn't want to create an alarm if, you know, if you said it wasn't possible, so I
I mean,
just-
right now, are the bathrooms open right now when you're up there?
They are open.
So I'm not sure if they're gonna be open in January or February, not that it,
How
but they're
long does
only gonna be,
football go?
they're only up there 10, 12 to 2 anyway, so it's not
Yeah,
like they
you
would
know.
need it.
That wouldn't be an issue, I don't think, and I would
Okay.
probably bring a, you know, a big thing of water, because a water
Yeah.
station would probably be a good idea.
So, you think it's all, yeah, you wanna
I
go?
think there's an issue, you know, if there is, we
What does the
can
rest of the
revisit
board
it.
think?
Don Martin.
I think you can tell the
Yeah.
Parks he's got a
Contingent
positive
upon Don
feedback
Martin.
from the license board.
Say that again?
You could tell the Park and Rec, Dawn, that she got a positive feedback from the license board, perhaps?
Okay.
I mean,
Do you wanna just
Sure.
make the motion and contingent upon Park
Yeah.
Department approval?
Yeah, so that way she doesn't have to come back.
yeah, and that would be helpful, because then we'd have the next 3 weeks to
Yeah.
let people know that
Okay.
actually it's gonna be happening, so I would.
I would
appreciate
contact the
that.
Parks Department
Yeah.
first thing tomorrow morning,
I
and
will.
I'll actually give Don Martin a call
Yeah, I
myself.
haven't met him yet since the new director came. I've had a lot of contact with Paul Doherty.
He's got a bad foot right now, but he's doing all right.
Broken foot.
Okay.
So why don't we do it a contingent upon Parks Department approval?
And how do I follow up after I speak with them? Just come and talk to you? Okay. And
And I'm gonna talk to Don Martin, he's gonna say it's okay.
Yeah.
And if he says that to me,
Of
then you'll be fine.
Of course. And also, I was wondering about some of the paperwork that I have to have dates changed on that.
Yeah.
We'll do that for you.
Okay, so just go up to them. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll be in touch.
Go ahead, Jay. Let him make his motion and then we'll.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Quincy Farmers Market to continue the farmers market on Fridays through March 2018. The hours will be from 12 to 2 p.m., contingent upon approval from the Parks and Recreation Department.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of the Quincy Farmers Market to continue the farmers market up at Pageant Field on Fridays through March. The hours will be from 12 to 2, and it's pending Park Department approval from Don Martin, and it's represented by Miss Janet Little. All in favor? Aye. You're good, okay?
Thanks a lot.
I'll check with Don
Okay. and
first
I'll-
thing tomorrow morning.
Okay, and I'll talk to them too.
I made a chicken pot pie last night.
Hearing regarding, agenda item number 6, hearing regarding the request of Town River Yacht Club. Yay, we've been waiting for you for a long time.
Good afternoon, yeah, I was here at 7 o'clock at night a couple
Oh,
of weeks ago.
that's right.
Walking around an empty building.
And you are Mr. Tom McNally?
I am not, I am Michael Richards, I am the
You are
vice
Mr.
commodore.
Michael Ritter, and you're gonna be the new manager, right?
Correct.
So this is Mr. Michael Richards from Town River Yacht Club. This is a great time to be changing the manager, getting all the paperwork in as we... Okay.
This is
This
I
is-
got
okay.
everything I needed from
Okay.
them.
Everything else is in order. all gets in. And do you have any experience managing liquor?
Not managing it, no.
Okay.
I bartender, certainly.
Okay.
But no, managing, no, this is new to me, and I was asked to do it, and I kind of looking into it and getting some hints and stuff from guys that have done it before. But no, this is very new.
So violators go to jail the first time, right?
Yeah.
So, Pete's gonna be down there a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Town Review Club is a great spot. It's a
Yeah, we love it, thank you.
That's good. So, any boating news from Town Review you want to tell us about, or because you're a boater, you're a necker?
No, I don't.
You don't
have
go over
any.
there in the
I do
skiff?
go over there on the skiff, and I do
Okay.
get a nice cheeseburger
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
Very good.
It's very good.
All right, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll move on. Looking for a motion, gentlemen.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Town River Yacht Club, 60 Mount Street, for a new manager being Mr. Michael Richards.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Town River Yacht Club, 60 Mount Street, for a new manager, Mr. Michael Richards. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set.
Very good.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very, very much.
Thank you, Susan, thank you very much.
There's a gas stop there.
Agenda item number 7, hearing regarding the request of Jet 8 Group, DBA The China Restaurant and Sports Bar, 861 Hancock Street, for an alteration of premise to expand into the adjacent retail space. And this will add 25 seats. And
20 seats.
How many?
20.
20 seats. And this is represented by attorney Jack Milgram. Jack, why don't you tell us about what's going on down at Jet 8? And I see that Judy Chen, who is the owner of Jet 8, just walked in also.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, for the record, my name is attorney Jack P. Miller. I'm here on behalf of the applicant Jet 8 Group, Inc. I have before the board this afternoon my client's petition to alter and expand the existing licensed premises at 681 Hancock Street in Quincy. As you can see from the plan that was previously submitted, my client will be expanding into the next 2 adjoining storefronts. My client will be removing the 2 entrances on the Hancock Street side of the building. My client will be removing the dividing wall between the 2 storefronts. My client will be making an opening between the dividing wall between the existing China and the next storefront. As we just mentioned, there's going to be an addition of 20 seats. As a result of the expansion, we previously appeared before the Zoning Board of Appeals for a finding, and that finding was granted for a change of use from the retail storefronts to restaurant bar. We'd ask that to look favorably on my client's petition.
Okay, so we have the abutters list, that's great.
You did the ad.
Everything else, the ad was run, obviously everything went through the ZBA. And do you have any idea when when construction will start?
As soon as we can.
As soon as
we
you
can-
walk out this door with approval, you're
As soon as we
gonna.
can get a building
Okay.
permit.
And how long do you think it's gonna take before you're ready to open?
I think with the holidays and stuff, it might be right after the holidays.
Okay. Before I open it up to the other board members, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll close that. We do have the ZBA decision, right, Mr. Duca? Which
Yes,
is
that's
approved,
correct.
And that's all good?
So they'll need to get the certified copy of that to file in day. So they can get stuff.
Have you recorded that yet, Judy?
No.
You haven't got the recorded, the decision?
Is there a written decision that's come out? Yeah.
It is.
I'll make sure I take that.
Okay, yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Chief Banner.
Chairman, could you tell me what the total seating will then become?
This is going to be 92, right? Is it 72 now?
It's 76.
76, so it'll be 96. We're adding
96,
20,
so
so it'll be
you're right
96.
96 total?
96 will be total.
Okay.
And this is all just seats, we're not doing any more kitchen expansion or anything else? Just maybe a hand sink over there or whatever, even if you need, I don't even know if you need it or not. It's just gonna be for tables, right? Okay.
The expansion of the dining hall.
Yes, dining hall, okay.
Yeah.
No expansion of the bar?
No. No expansion of that, right?
Not at this point. We
No.
drew a little one just so it's connected, so that they don't have to go way over to the other side, possibly the service area, to service those tables.
So
Because right
you're,
now the bar goes right behind the front desk.
Yeah.
so you're gonna expand the present bar a few more feet
Just
to the
to
new
a
area?
service bar so that we can actually put drinks over there instead of having to walk all the way around through people to try to get to servicing them with drinks and stuff.
Anybody else?
Well, as always, my concern is parking and traffic down in that location, but 20 seats isn't unreasonable. I don't think it's going to make an impact at this point, but, you know, it's just my opinion.
Anybody else have any comments, questions? Looking for a motion.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Jet A Group, Inc., DBA The China Restaurant and Sports Bar, 681 Hancock Street, for an alteration of premises to expand the dining hall into the adjacent retail space. The expansion will add 20 seats. This request was also submitted to the Zoning Board of Appeals and approved at the August 22nd hearing, represented by Attorney Jack Milburn.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Jet 8 Group Inc., DBA, the China Restaurant and Sports Bar, 681 Hancock Street, for an alteration of premise to expand into the adjacent retail space. The expansion will add 20 seats and it will bring the total to 96 seats altogether. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set.
Thanks,
Thank you very
everybody.
much.
Thank you.
We have, so I'm gonna just continue the agenda item number 2, the turkey trot, and they can come on the
I think we can.
Do you wanna go forward?
Yeah,
with
we'll
it?
go forward. 'Cause
The only reason I said that is because it says
conversation.
they may need help with the crossing, but you're good? As
Yeah,
long
I'm
as the
good.
chief's
We've
good?
worked with him every year.
Okay.
And he reached out to me last week, a brother reached out to me.
Okay,
It's
that's
gonna be the
perfect.
same as we do every year.
So let's reopen. Agenda item number 2, hearing regarding the request of the Marymount Association for a special use permit for the Thanksgiving Day Turkey Trot Run Walk on the 23rd. And setup begins at 7 a.m. and I'm sure they're all going to be done by the time the football game starts at 10. And it's represented by Miss Kathy O'Brien. She's not here and we will take the matter up, considering this is an annual event that's been going on for many, many years. Board members, I'm looking for a motion.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of the Marymount Association for a special use permit for the Thanksgiving Day Turkey Trot Run Walk 11/23/17. Setup begins at 7 a.m., represented by Ms. Kathy O'Brien.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of the Marymount Association for a special use permit for the Thanksgiving Day Turkey Trot Run 11/23/17. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's all set there. And we have one communication. The Massachusetts State Lottery Commission is looking to get a Keno to go at Galaxy Pharmacy at 343 Newport Ave. Seeing no objections, we'll pass that on to the ABCC. Do we have any other items on the agenda? Anything else? Nothing. Seeing that, can we have a motion to waive the minutes of the previous meeting?
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to waive the reading of the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Have a happy Halloween.